In today's video, we're going to talk about one concept. This concept will help you hit the ball more in the center of the club face, which will create more distance. It'll help you keep the club face square longer, which will help you hit the ball straighter. Okay, those are two perfect things. That's what we want right there. So the concept that we're going to talk about today is how to properly clear your hips, right? How open your hips should be, how to clear your hips, just to make everything easier. Because if you clear your hips correctly, it will fix club face a lot, and it will fix contact a lot. Okay, a lot of us struggle with contact because we early extend, or we don't know how to clear our hips, or if we clear our hips, we do it too early or too late. So we're going to cover how to clear your hips, when it should happen, how you should do it, how you can practice it, and automatically you're going to start hitting the ball a whole lot better. If you're brand new to our channel today, make sure you subscribe. If you hit the bell button, you'll see our future videos that we post every Tuesday and sometimes on Fridays. If you have any comments, leave those down below. We'll get to those. If this video helped you, leave a comment down below on just how it helped you or maybe a feeling that you got. So if somebody else is looking at comments, they can try to implement that as well. And if you give us a thumbs up, it helps grow the channel, which we appreciate. So today's topic is how to clear your hips and how to do that properly. Okay. First, we're going to cover some of the ways that I tend to come across when people really struggle. They're really trying to turn their hips. The first one is a hip spinner. Okay, so they've been told, clear your hips, get your belt buckle facing the target at impact. Just bad advice probably given. Hip spinners are those who tend to come down and they think they're clearing their hips, but they're just spinning them in place. All right. And so when you usually are a hip spinner, you lose your posture, or you have two things. You either come over, or most of the time if you're a hip spinner, the club drops underneath and you use your wrist a lot and you flip it a lot. It's a disaster. Okay, so the first thing is we don't need the hips to clear super fast, especially from up top. Okay, we'll talk about exactly when the hips should start to actually turn and clear a little bit later on. The other thing that we see from a lot of people, and this is the early extension move, right, is people get to the top and then they extend up and they're trying to turn their hips, but they're actually turning their hips out in very strange directions. It's kind of going out to the right and then get on their toes. And if you're one of those people, you know exactly what happens. Not good shots, a lot of bad shots. Okay, so those are kind of the two of the main ways that people try to turn their hips. Sometimes people do really good. They actually stay in their posture, but they turn them weird. All right, so they're not actually clearing their hips. They stay in posture, but they kind of twist their hips, which is kind of different than actually clearing the hips. All right, that is a different move. Okay, so if you stay in your posture and you're thinking you're doing really good, but you're just not hitting the ball very good, you're probably just turning in place. You're not really clearing your hips. Things just aren't going the way that you feel like they should be going, so you're getting a little frustrated. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to turn or how to clear your hips, all right, and when it should happen right now. So if you're thinking when I should clear my hips, all right, not at the top, all right, it's when the club gets to P6, all right, or parallel 6, which is right here. This is when the hips are going to start to clear and get out of the way, all right. So a lot of us get to the top and we're trying to turn really fast and we're getting our hips really open really too soon. Okay, that's going to lead to that early extension move a lot or over the top a lot. So you need to be patient with it. So when you get that club down to here, this is when the clearing is going to start to happen, is P6. Okay? Now, what your body does and how your body turns, that is one of the biggest keys to help you clear your hips. So let's say I'm at P6 right here. Okay, and then as I come down, my shoulders turn very level with the ground. Okay, so my hands are dropping really level to the ground. Okay, you can see this right knee wants to go forward, and the left buttocks, which is the clearing idea, it's not clearing at all. Okay, it's not going backwards. So you might be like, oh, I'm doing really good, and you're going that way. All right, you might hit the ball halfway decent, right? But your left butt cheek isn't moving back. It's not clearing, all right? What a clearing position looks like is left cheek is back. If you're looking at impact, you can see two butt cheeks, right? If you put a line on my butt from when I start, at impact, it's either going to be on the line, or you'll see a lot of professionals where it's actually behind that line. Okay, that is what clearing it is. So one of the easiest ways that I can help you stay in posture and help you learn to clear your hips a little bit better is by controlling your shoulder tilt into impact. Okay, so we're going to start from that P6, and when you come down, what I want you to feel like, all right, this is going to be hard for somebody who swings over the top, all right, because they're going to be kind of right side dominant. But let's go ahead and assume that you're right here. I want your right shoulder to feel like it starts to go down towards the ground. All right, so you're going to see a lot of right side tilt. All right, but you can see how my left butt moved out of the way. Okay, so it's here, goes down towards the ground, and that is clearing my hips. If my right shoulder went up, went flat, I'm not clearing anymore. I'm just standing up, flipping my hands a lot, trying to save it. So you need to get the feeling of when you come down that your right shoulder starts to go towards the ground and that left butt cheek starts to clear out of the way. Okay? They will work together. You cannot go down and go like that. It's really, really hard. Your body doesn't like to get... Somebody might actually be able to do that. I don't know who would, but you would need to feel the right shoulder go down and there. So you can see how it clears pretty easily. Okay? Right shoulder goes down. Now the right side tilt, that might be hard for some of you because you've never had that tilt. All right, but if you concentrate on that right shoulder going down, right, left shoulder will go up, butt cheek will go back, you'll clear it, and it'll stay very stable, and you'll hit it more in the center of the face. Some of you might be asking, people have always told me I drop my right side. Well, you can do that. Say you just kind of go like that, but you don't turn. Yeah, that's dropping your right side. That's when you chunk it. Okay, that's not very common for people. Everybody knows that golf is turning rotary. Right, so most people don't just go up here and go. They might, okay. But, so you're going to get here, come here, and then that right side starts to feel like it bends down towards the golf ball. Okay, now if you look at what your chest needs to do, as the chest comes down, you're going to see that it starts to open up kind of towards the sky. Kind of like this superhero type idea when you come through. We don't want it to go and kind of dive down towards the ground because then the hands are going to kick over the top and any work that you worked on clearing it's going to be a waste. Okay, so you need to put those into work. So you need to feel like right shoulder goes down, chest goes up, starts to extend, right? That extending motion, right, helps keep the club face still. If it goes down that way, you can see how it starts to close, right, or anything else. So P6, right shoulder goes down, get the right side bend, and come through and it stays nice and still. This might be hard for some of us as far as bending and extending at the same time. Make sure that it doesn't turn into the idea of extending that way. All right, it's got to be as the butt has cleared is when the extending starts to happen. All right, so I'll kind of show you what a drill that I've been doing to work on this. All right, is I just take it back to P6. I let my hip shift a little bit. All right, and then I get my right shoulder down, and then I feel myself extend, and I want to feel like the club face is still out in front of me, and the ball kind of hits up here. All right, and you're just going to do a lot of those because you need to start to feel what it feels like to get the right shoulder down and have the extension to go along with it. Okay, and you do those, and you start hitting more in the center. Everything starts to clear. It might be a little bit of a struggle in the beginning because you're going to still fight your old ideas, and that's why we always start small and then we build up, or start slow and build up, do rehearsal swings. You don't even have to go to the golf course and do this. You can do this in your backyard and just know what it feels like to make it work. All right, and then if you video your tapes and notice your hips starting to clear, all right, that's the key. That's how you clear your hip, is by controlling what your right shoulder does, because it will help clear everything out. If the right shoulder is flat, it's really hard to actually clear your hips. Okay, I've searched for a few videos on YouTube on how to clear your hips, but this should be like the easiest way for you to do it without having to do all sorts of weird things, or like the sitting move, all that kind of hard stuff. Okay. Thanks for watching today.